You are tuned into You are tuned into 50/50 News on the House of the Princess channel, hosted by Princess A.V, featuring world, local, celebrity, and YouTube news. Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell as I give you the traditional news with a small twist of ratchet. Let's go. Look, I didn't even know I was in the screen. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome to 50/50 News, where I give you 100% of the news with a slight twist of ratchet. How is everyone doing today on this glorious beginning of the holiday weekend? If you are just watching and you haven't done prior to, come in. Okay, sit back and get you a cool beverage and a snack. Also, let me adjust my chair. Press the like button. And if you haven't also pressed the subscribe button, support a Black business. It's a free way to support the channel. Also, if you would like to reach out to me, give me any news stories, there is a way on the bottom to reach out to me. Instagram, Facebook, by email, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Google Pay, and Apple Pay, all that. We take donations to support the channel and super chats. I would like to thank all of those, including my main mob, Miss Black Diamond, who is coming in to watch the program. Please share it. Tell everybody what's going on. Today, I am not going to mince words. I'm not going to take a lot of time. I'm going to get down to this news because we have a lot to cover. Now, those who have never watched 50/50 News, you will know that I go from local, national, entertainment, and YouTube news. Now, our local news is Chicagoland area news. So we let you know what's going on here. This is my hometown. This is my area. So that's what I talk about. So without further ado, let's get to it. Local news. So in our local news, and look, I have messed up again. Down to the StreamYard. I forgot to share the stream, but that she's sharing the wrong one. That'll take but a second. I forgot to share the stream with myself, because if I don't share it with myself, then you, the audience, will not be able to see. But now we've got it all under control and under wraps. So with that being said, our first story is about our migrant situation. As some of you don't know, that Chicago is a sanctuary city, and our borders have been open in the United States for the last couple of weeks, and it has been problematic for some cities, especially cities like Chicago, because there are just busloads and busloads of people here. And I told you, like last week, it's like here, you leaving your kids at the babysitter, and I didn't know you was coming. So as we spoke last week, we also talked about there are people sleeping on the police station floors. They're trying to make new shelters, and so one of these shelters they're trying to make is up north at Wilbur Wright College. So they just had a meeting about it. So that is what we're about to see here on this.
When Mayor Lightfoot was in, she agreed to have Chicago to be a sanctuary city. And where is she now? She's gone.
Another heated community meeting tonight over the placement of migrants.
This time, the city has its sights set on a Northwest Side college as temporary housing.
And a lot of neighbors do not like the idea. Tia Ewing is live with more. Tia.
Well, you said it there, John. A lot of neighbors do not like the idea. There was a lot of mixed emotion here, a lot of opinion from Portage Park residents and also residents from the Dunning community, all voicing their opinions about this move tonight. At times there was booing, at other times there was clapping. The meeting unfolded in the space where the asylum seekers would temporarily call home.
The room was filled to capacity at one point. Chicago residents making their voices heard. You can be compassionate, but you can't be foolish.
As more than 8,000 migrants have arrived in Chicago since August of 2022, and that number is still going up as Chicago tries to deal with the crisis. On the table is the plan to house them here at Wilbur Wright College, many asking the question about the city's plans moving forward. Some on the Northwest side support it.
We've all struggled along the way and needed help, every one of us. It's time to pay it forward. These are people. They're not political pawns.
And many others don't.
We're inviting in like a magnet. Everybody come here, collect all your freebies. We're going to give it to you. Every sucker in here is going to pay for it.
Who's paying? Nobody wants the answer.
400 migrants would be housed at the college during the summer months from June 1st to August 1st. Classes would resume. Some question policing of the temporary shelter moving forward.
The police department is going to make frequent visits here, which means if they're making frequent visits here, they're not out there.
There's plenty of resources to staff providing safety. So Wright College is part of our community. So to understand that.
Again, you heard it. That room was full of emotion. Now, a city official did tell me that they plan to give this plan to the city college's board to vote on this week. And if they vote yes, that means the migrants would be moving in ahead of that June 1st date. Live from the Dunning community, Tia Ewing, Fox 32 Chicago.
Now, what I have to say about that is people need a place to stay. Okay, that's a fact, right? My thing is some of the comments that these people said were very, very harsh, very, very heartless. Yes, people need a place to stay. I am coming in first contact with people who are migrants, and I can't imagine having to sleep on a police station floor or coming from one country to another and not know where you're going or not having proper places to stay. You're just stepping out on faith, right? But at the same time, I feel like the college, it don't have no dorms. I've been there. It's just rooms and rooms and rooms. So what are they all going to stay in cots in the gym room? I constantly think about these different arrangements, and I think about the Superdome at Katrina, or when we have any type of natural disaster, people are just placed in places and they're really not made for that. Also, you're going to house these people for 2 months, and we're in a housing crisis in Chicago. So where do they go after that? What's the contingency plan for that? You have no privacy. You're out there open. Yeah, trust me, they can get jobs and they can work, but then you got to save up all your money for 2 months. Like, it's a lot to get because you're starting over from scratch. So I'm wondering, like, where's the long-term plan? Is it just now, or, okay, they homeless stay in 2 months. Where are you going to have them stay? And if you had that type of plan, why don't you have that type of plan for the homeless people that are already in Chicago that you won't house? Our Section 8 list is 50K strong. That's the waiting list. I've looked at Section 8 housing and say, yeah, the waiting list is 10 and 20 years long. All kind of ridiculous types of things. So what are you really going to do with these people? Like, does anybody really care about these people? So there's so many unanswered questions. I didn't like the police thing. Okay, you know, the people ain't trying to cause a ruckus inside of anywhere. Do we need more police officers? Yeah, but guess what? We need change in laws, because they passed the law, a bill in January that basically says if someone's not killing you, just about, that the police might not come, or they can't arrest, or people no bail. They get bailed. So it's just so many broken things with that the city of Chicago needs to fix on top of the state and national. So this is a short story. There was a grammar school in a fight with adults, and someone's auntie punched a kid in the face. Well, not in the face. It just says punch the kid, but it's too much.
Meantime, Lewis Middle School in Waukegan was on soft lockdown today following a physical altercation that led to a student being punched allegedly by another student's aunt. A statement from the school reads in part, quote, "It is our understanding that the adults came to the school in response to an altercation that occurred previously between two students. This situation is disturbing and disappointing. As a school community, we expect our Lewis students to behave themselves in a respectful and responsible manner. Needless to say, we expect the same from our visiting adults as well." The two adults were eventually escorted out of the building. A 29-year-old woman was later arrested. This is the suspect, Angel Terry. Police are still looking for a man who allegedly accompanied her.
She looked like a man, her damn self, okay? Look like a goddamn clown, and as you should, to match that clownery behavior. But unfortunately, this is stuff that we're seeing on a consistent basis working in the schools. The adults are worse than the children. I could see, you want to defend your child, but, coming up to the school to jump on children is bad. And this is why the children act the way they do. They emulate what they see. And they see bad behavior, so they enact bad behavior at school. It's hard to teach conflict resolution. I was talking with a student. I have students that beg to sit with me. She literally said, well, I can act dumb. I can act like I can't read so I can sit in your class every day. I was like, no, girl. I want you to put me out of a job. That's the whole case in point, is that I should not have a job. Why? Because y'all should know how to read. In any case, she was talking about matching energy and how somebody was doing something to her. And I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I said, but that's not how you fix things. You can't always match energy. It takes two people to argue, and sometimes that you just shouldn't talk back. You just let it go. It's not worth it. But she was a little bit deaf on. I've seen her in action, baby. That neck gets to rolling, eyes get to that. Baby, And then it's fine in some arenas, even as adults, some people you got to check, okay? But the kids get it honest. If us as adults can't talk and rectify situations in an honorable manner, how do we expect for our children to do so? If the aunties coming to punch kids in the face, it's not even like the old school, I'm going to get my older brother that's somewhere in the area to beat your ass. No, these are the adults coming to jump on children. No, God. Go to hell, man. Go to hell, because that's where you're on your way to. So our next story is a Romeoville officer was shot while doing a police stop investigating a crime. So the guy who did it shot him. Let's go back to Fox 32 with this story.
The search for the man accused of shooting a police officer in Romeoville is over. Police just said he has been caught. Let's go to Joni now with the latest details. Joni.
And good morning. It appeared that police knew just who they were looking for when they had to search for someone who shot their police officer during an investigation overnight. The officer was shot in the shoulder. Police shut down a wide area to search for the shooter. They released a picture of the suspect taken by the Western Illinois Correctional Center. 29-year-old Samir Hernandez was out on parole. He was a person of interest in a report of a stolen vehicle. Police located that vehicle at Sierra Trail and Summerfield. At 12:13 a.m., they say Hernandez got out, ran off, and exchanged gunfire with police. Officers shut down the area to search for that shooter. They found him about a mile from the scene, hiding in bushes.
Right away, our officers on duty set up a perimeter, calling for additional units. We set up a farther perimeter, and then they worked a grid search. Pardon me. They worked a grid search. We included dogs, drones, We were getting tips from the community about Ring doorbell video and such. And ultimately, that's how, and with the help of daylight, that's how we were able to make our arrest.
Can you tell us? They were able to make that capture in about 5 hours. Chief Ken Kroll says that the officer is at Loyola Medical Center. He's expected to recover, described as a 5-year veteran, one of the best in their department. Reporting live in Romeoville, Joni Lum, Fox 32 Chicago.
So thankfully he's okay. This is the thing. This is why police don't want to police. You know, they losing their lives left and right, getting shot. Like they really, you know, as a police officer, yes, you're supposed to be ready to risk your life, but just not for nothing. You know what I'm saying? But look at him, man. He got all the tattoos and shit on his head. Like, you knew. Why y'all let this fool out? I guess because you had to. And yes, that is Mr. Terrence Lee, honey. Yes, he makes the mornings good. Young tender. Okay, but I had said this before. Terrence Lee with his fine self, and then you got Anita Blanton, and with her fine self, baby, it's melanin black, glistening skin all over the Fox 32 morning show. Yes, God. Whew. Okay, yes. I love me some Terrence, okay? You know. I get me in trouble. So, on another note, and welcome everybody that's come in. If I didn't say it, because I think I said it, but I wasn't sure. Come get your kids, folks. Come get your kids, as it has made national news that Chicago is known for these kids running rampant. They just had to shut a carnival down this past weekend because y'all's kids was out here running amok on the streets, fighting and carrying on. Okay, it's irritating. So they're planning another situation this weekend, and the news wants you to know. Come get your. Do you know where your children are? They need to bring back.
Meanwhile, in Westmont, another festival organizer says the show must go on. Elizabeth Matthews is live there. Liz.
Yeah, hey Tia, the Spring Fling Festival here in Westmont just opened just a couple of minutes ago. They're ready for a great weekend. It's great weather, great rides, barbecue competitions, neighborly spirit. But of course, they, just like other community leaders, are thinking about what happened, like you just mentioned, last weekend in Tinley Park. Saturday night during the Armed Forces Weekend Carnival, hundreds of kids gathered, causing chaos. Several were cited for fighting. That last day, like you mentioned, the carnival on Sunday was canceled. Now in Westmont, the president of the Lions Club, who's in charge of this weekend festival, says that they will not back down. They will not change course, but they are in contact with local law enforcement.
We're not changing anything, but it sure prompted us to put a call into the police department. We have a great relationship with the Westmont police force. And, we asked them, what are the plans? What do we need to do? They are prepared. They've been monitoring social media, and they have a response preparedness plan with multi-departments throughout the area. We're ready to go.
So back in Tinley Park, they're looking at some policy changes for the rest of the summer, just in case, including bag checks, clear boundaries around festivals, and also some youth supervision policies. This Spring Fling Festival here in Westmont just kicked off just a couple minutes ago, right at 4 o'clock, runs until 10:30 and runs all weekend long. In Westmont, Elizabeth Matthews, Fox 32, Chicago.
You beat me to it. Tinley Park is white. It's white. So I don't know how they decided to come out there to that white suburb and cut up. Okay, somehow they made their asses out there, and I was shocked. I watched the video. I was at the laundromat, and they were out there fighting last Saturday. I was like, oh. Okay, I guess. Westmont is white mostly. West suburbs. As you see, that white man said, "You ain't stopping shit." So what that means to me is they gonna stop you real quick. Come get your kids. Come get your kids. if you want to have kids left, okay? So hello. The next story is a 9-year-old boy was shot in his home because adults were fighting. I'm just going.
Now to more breaking news, a 9-year-old South suburban boy, another victim of senseless gunfire.
CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey sat down with the boy's family. She joins us live now from Madison. Megan, they told you this all stemmed from a fight between two groups of teenagers.
Right, Jim and Marie, the family tells me it was a fight between a group of 16-year-olds that turned into shots fired. Little Omari Jones Brown was just standing in the doorway trying to see what was going on when he was shot and killed.
He died right there.
And it was outside.
It was right here on the porch.
9-year-old Omari Jones Brown's grandmother tells me she watched the whole thing unfold last night around 6 p.m. in front of her house. She says her granddaughter was involved in a fight involving a group of girls and one young man.
Then they stopped fighting. They began to walk back to the car. We walked back to the porch as we was going to get ready to come in the house. And the young man with them just opened fire.
Omari was standing in the doorway.
Well, I didn't even realize he was hit when he was screaming as well, because when he gets scared, he screamed like that.
She called 911, but it was too late for the third grader.
In the emergency room, he passed away to the injuries suffered from a single gunshot wound to his abdomen.
Madison police tell us a 20-year-old victim arrived at St. James Hospital with a non-life-threatening gunshot wound at the same time. They wouldn't say exactly how that person was connected or whether anyone was in custody.
Please turn yourself in. This is hurting. Can you all please turn yourself in?
The family is still in disbelief that their honor roll student who loved to dance won't be coming home tonight. His grandma tells me he lived with her here in Madison because he thought it was safer.
His mom moved out and he stayed here because he didn't want to go to Chicago because he was afraid of getting shot.
And Madison PD is asking anyone with information to contact their Criminal Investigations Division. Live in Madison, Megan Hickey, CBS 2 Investigators.
Thank you, Megan.
But there's so many questions about that. Now, first of all, again, teaching conflict resolution. 16-year-olds, 20-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 12-year-olds, out of everybody that was in the situation, which there are definitely, obviously, some unanswered questions. The baby standing in the doorway gets shot. People ask, how are we getting all these guns on the street? Yeah, them people is giving them to the kids, okay? Selling them. Y'all watch Power. Y'all know how this is. Somebody was connected to something. How are all those adults watching all those kids fighting? And again, this is not control of your kids and what you teach them. Unfortunately, with social media and the breakdown of family, our kids are desensitized to taking someone's life. They don't realize how real a gun is in taking someone's life. And then it's always the innocent ones. That child wasn't hurting nobody. And his life was taken based on, it's got to be a silly altercation with 14-year-olds was involved, as young as that. Had to have been. So God bless that family. Reading what y'all are saying. You have to conflict resolution. But that's what I'm saying. Yeah, most likely somebody that probably was recording. We're not teaching conflict resolution. And these things happen in our community. When I talk to those kids, they were talking today, they were so cavalier talking about people being shot and violence. Like it's their everyday normal. And we were coloring. And this is a sidebar. I usually don't do this during the news. We were coloring. And I said something about being outside. And one of the girls said, no, my mama don't let me go outside because it's too dangerous. Or I don't get a chance to play with them. They live on my block. And the other girl said, yeah, I don't get a chance to go outside either. I just sit in the house and watch TV. Whereas I was a child that mostly was in the house for various reasons, mostly because I was a latchkey kid. I could walk through the store or something. And I just sat and thought about how these kids are robbed of their childhood. And we wonder why they're so engulfed in social media. Because they can't even go outside and be kids. They can't have kid thoughts and do kid things. And we expect for them to know how to get along. And we expect for them to talk the way children talk and think the way kids think. When we have not embodied and created and maintained, and the key word is maintain, a safe environment for our children. There was a time that you would get violated if a kid got harmed in street politics. Now don't nobody give a damn. Now the kids is creating all of the violence, and the OGs and the adults are scared of the kids, which you should have beat their ass when they was coming up in the first place. Right. Okay. So our last story for local news is Diamond and Tianda Bradley. This is a 20-year-old cold case that they think that one of the Bradley sisters, according to TikTok, have resurfaced. So let's see the story on that.
I don't want to know that if this is my niece, somebody did this to her.
We begin with what could be a bombshell development in a 2-decade-old cold case.
A woman in Texas believes she might be missing Southside girl Diamond Bradley. Tia Ewing joins us from the live desk with stunning new details tonight. Tia.
Well, Don and Corey, we're really just scratching the surface of this story tonight. It's a story that garnered national attention. The Bradley family is closer to the possibility of solving this mystery that's put their lives on hold for 20 plus years. And it all started with this TikTok video.
Here with Diamond Bradley.
It's a trail that has gone cold. Where are Diamond and Tianda Bradley, missing for 22 years from Chicago's Bronzeville neighborhood, then 3 and 10 years old? They simply vanished without a trace. But this TikTok video has the case back in the spotlight.
This is Diamond Bradley. Can I see your scar? She still have that scar.
This age progression photo from missing and exploited children mentions the scar that Diamond has on her left side of her head in her hairline.
And when I talk to her face to face like I'm talking to you, I can see the scars. That one, that one.
Shalia Bradley Smith, the great aunt, has been fighting to find the girls. She says the woman in her 20s lives in Houston and reached out to her. She orchestrated for her to go and talk to the FBI.
I was on speaker and he said, yeah, we've been expecting you, but you can't take your telephones in.
The FBI spoke with a woman for 45 minutes and did take her DNA. Right now, test results are pending. It will be compared with the girl's biological mother.
She said they gave me a cheek swab and they fingerprinted me.
Ross Rice, former FBI special agent, says the DNA will take some time.
They have to process the swab and get a DNA reading on that, and then they have to compare it to the known sample that they have, and that will tell them if there's a match or not.
If she is Diamond Bradley, where has she been for 22 years? Her great aunt says living in the northwest part of the country, treated inhumanely.
Over the years held captive, fed steroids to make her body growner than what it was for sex trafficking, drug-induced, living on the streets after escaping.
And where is Tianda, who was 10 at the time the sisters disappeared together after leaving a note saying they were going to the store and to the playground?
I said, what happened to Tianda? She said, you know, I remember we were in a car and I was with her for a while, where they had us at, and She said, I woke up one day and Tianda wasn't there. And I didn't see her anymore.
Still a lot of questions, that is for sure. The Chicago FBI field office is handling this case. The great aunt did tell me there's a backlog for DNA, and she's waiting to hear the results any day now. At the live desk tonight, Tia Ewing, Fox 32 Chicago.
So yeah, it takes about 2 weeks, roughly, for that type of DNA to come back. Because I know when we did the ancestry, it took us 3 weeks to get our DNA test, me and my sister. This story is deep. I'm telling you, their faces were everywhere when they came up missing. And the way they came up missing, oh, excuse me, you just would have thought that they had passed away. I really do hope that maybe this girl is just a glimmer of hope for them. And it's so sad that she was taken from a happy, safe home and put into a life of trauma. And I'm going to say put and sold. Because the story of her missing from her home has never... it has never gelled together for the people at all. It's like, okay, you missing from home, then all of a sudden she went to the store. Now we don't know where this baby at. Like, it didn't make sense for most. I pray that answers start to come about. And whether or not that girl is one of the Bradley sisters, that even still that she gets some closure and some help. But I have a feeling, a lot of people have a feeling that that's her. So I'll keep y'all updated on that story as well. So that's all we have for local news. At first, I was going to make this kind of short, but it was so many stories that I went about this week, and then I haven't done in a week. We don't know where the mother is. She was around. Since this case has come back up, nobody has really mentioned the mother. The only person that has interviewed has been the great aunt. And yes, Tia Ewing is beautiful. Let me tell you, Fox 32 be hiring some fine black people. Like, all of them is fan. Brescia, all of them. Shouts out to 32 for the melanin, okay? And they hires the black folk, okay? So that's all we have for national news. If you're just tuning in, please acquaint yourself with the channel, like and hit the subscription button. Also, the membership channel is open. Feel free to join the membership. It's as low as $1.99, and you get some beautiful emojis with your memberships. Some membership members only lives, and we have some good stuff coming. I hear my voice going out. Well, we got a lot of news channels too, Shay. But you are watching 50/50 News, 100% news with a little twist of ratchet. I am your host, Princess A.V. I am your Magetto newscaster, and I have one of my shirts on today. I wore it to school. 50% righteous, 50% ratchet, 100% real. You can find that on the Royalty Beauty Brands website. And I'm going to put it on the House of the Princess website sooner or later. I just left it on there because that is already e-commerce. And these things cost, okay? It costs a lot of money to make money. And I ain't making enough money. And with that being said, feel free to lend a super chat, PayPal, Venmo, Google Pay, Apple Pay, or maybe just a Cash App. Hit the Cash App, you guys, to support the channel and keep this wonderful production value going, as I have given you this newsroom realness. So with that being said, while you are liking and subscribing and sharing with your nearest neighbor, we will continue to move on this train and go to the national news. Worldwide and national news. So our first story is a continuance of another story that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. There was two 14-year-olds that got on a school bus and attempted to murder another child. Again, problems with conflict resolution here. And they couldn't go through with it because the gun just wouldn't go off. So here's a story update on that story and how they have captured some of these children.
This is really bizarre.
Yeah, very. A third teenager appeared in front of the judge today, charged in that attempted school bus murder. You can see it all going down in this video here, and the details are just really upsetting. These three boys appeared wearing masks and hoodies pulled over their heads. They got into a school bus in Oxon Hill. They pushed right on by the driver, went up to a middle schooler, put the gun to his chest, and pulled the trigger 3 times. Thankfully, nothing happened because the gun jammed. The teenage girl who was in court today, however, was not in these photos, but prosecutors say that doesn't mean she isn't just as guilty.
And wait until you hear what's next. Scott Broom was in the courtroom today. He joins us now live. And Scott, you really got the sense from prosecutors today just how young these teens were potentially and how dangerous this could have been.
Yes, generally here, the majority of the kids involved are 8th graders. And this is very, very dangerous. Now, normally hearings involving juveniles are not open to the public, but in this shocking case of attempted murder by children, the young teens are charged as adults. So with this surprise arrest over the weekend of a girl we were all completely unaware of, there is yet another hearing today that was open to the public. And what we're learning, again, is chilling.
It was a hit squad style attack on a Prince George's County school bus caught on video. A boy with a gun tries to shoot and kill a 14-year-old while 2 accomplices hold the victim down. Had the gun not jammed repeatedly, the victim would surely have died, investigators have said in court. And today in a Prince George's County courtroom, we learned the attack was allegedly orchestrated by an 8th grade girl who's accused of texting the attackers before they rushed the bus to let them know the victim was seated and the last rider left. The 14-year-old girl was arrested over the weekend and charged as an adult with attempted murder. Tense bailiffs in the courtroom watched to keep family members separated. The suspect's family begged for the girl to be released into home detention before trial. But arguments by attorneys revealed there are allegations of gang ties. And the victim's mother begged the judge not to let the girl go home, saying her family and the school bus driver would be terrorized that the girl could orchestrate another attack. She planned this out and she set it up to a T, the victim's mother said. Judge Byron Bariano ordered the girl held without bail in a juvenile facility, saying that home detention may keep her off the streets, but would not prevent her from planning more deadly mayhem. Prosecutor Aisha Brayboy reflected on how dangerous these suspects are alleged to be despite their young age.
This case, but we hear parents say, my child's a good child, that they weren't involved. I can't believe it, but believe it. It happens. Unfortunately, far too often in our communities, young people are making adult decisions that have adult consequences. My office has no choice but to pursue justice, and that's what we're going to do.
All right, here at WUSA 9, we are not naming any of the kids involved because they still have juvenile status. In total, we now have 2 boys and a girl who are in detention accused of attempted murder in this case. But the key suspect, you've seen again and again in that video, the boy with the gun, is still out there somewhere. They're looking for him, and so is the gun. So the victim's mother says her entire family remains terrorized, afraid that this kid may try to silence witnesses or take some other action. So the case is still very much open, and a lot of fear about the danger these kids allegedly represent in the community. Reporting live at the Prince George's County Courthouse, Scott Broom, WUSA 9.
Listening to the details here, I think we're like a lot of the folks at home listening. We're talking about teenagers here and a 14-year-old girl accused of orchestrating this attack. Hopefully they find this 15-year-old or teen gunman sometime soon. Scott, thank you.
We begin.
Let me tell you something. First of all, they know who and where that gunman is. He's a baby. Ain't no way you gonna tell me that you can't get one of them other kids to turn state's evidence. Because you a little bitty baby, 14, 15 years old looking at the rest of your life in prison. And I can't imagine that any of those parents got that type of money for those type of lawyers. Okay, I do have a defense lawyer. I need like another kind of lawyer. Okay, and she will get you off for the right price. Okay. You ain't got that kind of money for defense lawyers. Okay. So you're not going to tell me them kids not going to snitch. Plus, they just not that smart. They would like to be, but they just not that smart. And here, this is the classic case of Ray in them. Okay, and my baby could never, but we got him on tape. Is that not Ray on the video? And I'm gonna pause before she leaves. Mother Africa, girl, I ain't see you in so long. You are still loved and still missing. Busy, we're talking about a story where the two 14-year-old kids were already caught trying to murder another child on the school bus. So I have a comrade from Chicago that is another content creator called Dirty Folks. Now he calls women toddlers, and he says that we are classic fight promoters, and we start molding our little girls early to be fight promoters, and we are the ones who orchestrate violence from one man to the next. So I can't help but to think about what he said when they say this 14-year-old little girl orchestrated an attempted murder on another child. And again, it could not be anything that serious that allows you to orchestrate a murder of another child. And then for 2-3 other kids to be stupid enough to try to go through with it. Throw the whole kids away. Throw the whole kids away. Throw the parents away. And then you want to coddle the kids. That gunman, his parents is somewhere coddling him. They done send him up north because they down south. You done send him up north or somewhere, and you're hiding a child that did wrong. And they make cognizant choices. Because it would be not, you couldn't pay my kids nothing to go and hurt nobody like that. Not a dime. So some of this falls on the parenting too. The culture. It upsets me. It grieves me. Okay, that's just story number one. Let's go to the next story. Okay, this is funny and not funny. A squatter is evicted from somebody's house. We going down to Georgia. Now, this ain't the first time that happened down there. Look, I ain't gonna give y'all the story. I'm just gonna tell it. Let these people tell you because this is funny and not funny, honey.
And now with an update to a Channel 2 Action News investigation. A local Army officer is back in her DeKalb County home tonight, a week after we told you about how a squatter had moved in and was living in her place. Well, the woman's crediting Channel 2 consumer investigator Justin Gray for getting her back in her home. And Justin with us, and that squatter is now behind bars.
Well, Justin, normally homeowners are told they have to go through the eviction process, which can take months. That's what Lieutenant Colonel Delia Duray was initially told by DeKalb police earlier this month. But after our Channel 2 Action News story aired, the DeKalb Sheriff's Office contacted her and said they will circumvent that process with something called an intruder affidavit.
If it wasn't for Channel 2, Justin Gray, I wouldn't be here today, and I'm truly grateful.
Look at all the stuff pulled out of this DeKalb County house. The alleged squatter, Vincent Simon, had only been in the home a matter of weeks, but you can see he had really moved in. Even his dogs had to be carted out. Our Channel 2 Action News photographer was there, camera rolling, as Simon was moved out of Lieutenant Colonel Delia Duray's Ellenwood home by order of an intruder affidavit.
Just as I finished renovating, you leisurely moved in like it's yours. No, I was not going to let this go.
It was 1 week ago that Lieutenant Colonel DeRay first reached out to Channel 2. She put her home up for sale while away on Army active duty in Chicago when this convicted criminal moved in, putting up beware of dog signs and cardboard in the windows, claiming he had a lease. DeRay was told by police she would have to take him to court and go through a formal eviction process.
I felt violated. Had I not been serving my country, I would have been in my home.
But this week, DeRay got to see Simon led out of the house in cuffs.
Vincent, your time is up.
It feels good when you can return the home back to their homeowner.
Police found a gun and suspected ecstasy in the home. You can see the giant gun safe Simon had brought in. As a convicted felon, he legally cannot have a firearm.
He attempted to show us the lease. That's not what the law allows.
Normally showing a bogus lease or even just claiming to have a lease is enough to get a squatter case kicked to a months-long court battle.
You want to have protections of tenants, but you don't want protection of squatters.
DeKalb County Attorney John Ernst has been fighting a similar squatter case for a client since February and says these cases regularly drag on for months with delays both in the courts and with the marshals. His client still isn't back in his home.
It's been 3 months since they were moved in. And we'll probably have at least another month and a half.
But with the sheriff's office bypassing that eviction process, DeRay now has her house back.
I came here with a mission in mind to get him out of my house and put him in jail where he belongs.
And mission accomplished for Lieutenant Colonel DeRay. The attorney we talked to, John Ernst, he's also the mayor of Brookhaven and says he has been looking at this on the public policy side as well, on how to make the process more efficient. Obviously, the DeKalb sheriff stepping in here with that intruder affidavit sped up all of this for Lieutenant DeRay by definitely weeks and likely months, Justin.
Justin Gray, well done. Thank you. Now, there are ways to protect your property from squatters. Some of the easiest things that you can do is to secure all entrances to your property. Also, post signs saying no trespassing. You can hire a property management company to carry out regular home inspections, and they can help you find a desirable tenant to make sure that there are no squatters on your property.
Or you can do it the hood way. He's lucky that's a military woman that she didn't come through with a back door and bust a cap in your assets. Okay, because it's my house. You's the intruder and you scared me, so I killed you. Okay, but you know. Right, you don't really want to physically go. Black Diamond says we don't throw hands, we throw bullets, okay? And your poor little puppy dog and Toto too, okay? That's all I got to say about that. But that's more common now. People are learning to squat, okay? And you got to put squatters out in a literal sense. So that's like a weird law all across America. So it's like interesting. So the next story, as we move quicker, because we're almost at the hour mark and we're only about halfway through the story. This is another story of a child, unfortunately. 11-year-old boy shot in his home by whom else? The Popo down in Mississippi. So this is a story that you need to watch because I'm sure that it should balloon up and become a big story. If it doesn't, it's a problem.
Mississippi mom demanding accountability and answers after her 11-year-old son was shot by a police officer inside their own home, and he's the one who called for help. Steve Osunsami has the story for us. Steve, good morning.
Good morning to you. Local police this morning are saying very little about what happened to this boy and haven't released any video or any of the police reports. The family of this child is demanding all of this.
Friends and family this morning of an 11-year-old police shooting victim are protesting the police in the Mississippi Delta, calling for the officer who shot the boy to be fired.
No justice, no peace.
On Saturday, 11-year-old Darian Murray was shot in the chest inside his own home by an Indianola police officer who was responding to a call for help.
He was like, I don't want to die. That's what he was saying while I was on the ground. I said, you're not going to die, baby.
The police department isn't commenting this morning, but the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations confirms that the child received significant injuries and had to be transported to a local hospital. The 11-year-old seen here is home this morning and lucky to be alive. He had a collapsed lung and a cut on his liver, and was treated in the ICU.
He had nothing in his hand, so he could not have perceived a threat.
It was a report of a fight at the home that led to the call for police in the first place. The issue allegedly was with the mom's ex-boyfriend, who she says was violent with her before and showed up around 4 a.m. Her son, who was woken up by the fighting, called 911. She says her ex-boyfriend was at the back of the home when she opened the door in the chaos, and the officer shot her son.
Was he expecting the kid to come around the corner? I don't know. But there's protocol when kids are around. I want to see him fired.
She says she told the officer that her ex-boyfriend was unarmed. The mayor of the town says that the officer who shot the child has been suspended. No word this morning on what, if or anything, happened to the ex-boyfriend who showed up at the home at 4 a.m. The mother says that she did not press charges, explaining that she was busy trying to save the life of her child.
Well, thankfully, that boy is recovering. Steve, thank you.
Well, hey there,
Oh my God, that's so crazy, and that also attests to unaddressed violence within couples and domestic violence. And because of a domestic violence situation, this child has to suffer. This child is suffering, and thank God he didn't lose his life. But now the police, you're supposed to announce, hey, I'm finna shoot you. I'm finna do something. I have a gun. And to in my eyes, misfire. How you miss a big grown man and you hit a baby? Like, there's, again, so many unanswered questions about this situation. I'm sure there's going to be a big lawsuit. I'm not surprised if Ben Crumb, transfer his ass down there. But this is something that definitely needs to be investigated. It needs to be talked about, and it needs to be shared out in the world. Okay, so next thing, y'all coming on in here. Y'all must just now be getting your notifications. But thank y'all for coming. Press the like button as you're coming in. The House blocks student loan relief. It's a quick one.
As millions of student loan borrowers await a decision by the Supreme Court on whether or not the president's forgiveness plan will stand, Republican lawmakers are doing what they can to put a stop to the debt relief proposal.
Griff Jenkins has more from Washington.
On this vote, the yeas are 218 and the nays are 203.
Delivering a blow to President Biden's student loan policies, the House Wednesday voted to overturn the administration's controversial student debt relief program, sending the measure to the Senate.
People should pay what they said they would pay.
Republicans argue the president's proposal to cancel between $10,000 to $20,000 in student debt is unfair, and it's also money the nation cannot afford to spend right now.
At some point in time, somebody's got to pay these bills. And Washington can't keep spending money it doesn't have.
The Supreme Court, deliberating a decision of its own, is expected to soon rule on a pair of challenges contesting the proposal's legality. The Democrats say the president's plan is a good one.
Our children deserve a break.
In testimony before Congress, officials from the Department of Education worked to defend the program to lawmakers.
So the relief that the president is offering borrowers will help strengthen the economy.
If it stands, the plan would affect more than 40 million borrowers, about half of whom would see their balances wiped clean.
The president's plan is a good one. It's a popular one, and it will help prevent borrowers from default when loan payments restart this summer.
The White House says if the House's resolution should pass in the Democratic-led Senate, the president will veto it. In Washington, Griff Jenkins, Fox 32, Chicago.
They don't want to give us this money, point blank. I've listened to Buffy talk about this for the last year, and it makes good sense. She says if you eliminate student loan debt, then a lot of people's credit ratings will go up. Credit ratings go up, interest rates go down, they get less money. But it will make more money available for just leisurely funds. It will be more money going back into the system. People will be able to afford groceries. They will be able to afford vacations, cars, things like that. But that's too much to keep us on and up, keep us not hungry, not starving. Them fuck niggas over there talking about pay what you owe. But yet America does not have money to help Americans. But how many millions of dollars have we sent over there to the Ukraine to fight a war? The first thing they teach you in school is you need to go to college, you need to get a trade. And then they make college unattainable in price for a regular person. In other countries, college is free. Education is free, but not in America. And we have to pay all these thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to be in debt for the rest of your freaking life. And what they say, you need to pay what you owe. But you won't give a person a job if they don't have it. What's your choice? And if they don't get the hell out of here, this bullshit. I'll be trying not to cuss on this one. Okay. As we pay taxes, right? The government don't have. As we pay taxes. Lies you tell. Huh. Our next story. South Carolina signs a new abortion law. I got much to say about these people telling you what to do with yourself.
Well, the future of South Carolina's new abortion law now rests with the Supreme Court.
A judge put a temporary block on the law during a hearing over a lawsuit challenging that legislation. Judge Clifton Newman made the decision about a day after Governor McMaster signed the bill. The law bans abortion after around 6 weeks into a pregnancy with limited exceptions. South Carolina abortion providers, including a clinic in Greenville County, filed a lawsuit just after it was signed into law. And they argue it's nearly identical to the law that was passed in 2021, which the state Supreme Court ruled unconstitutional. Since the first abortion bill was overruled, the only female Supreme Court justice has been replaced by a man, meaning Republicans, they're hoping a new face on the Supreme Court will mean a different decision this time.
Old white men who probably a lot of them have utilized the services of the morning after pills and back alley doctors to terminate pregnancies. They want to tell you as a woman what to do with your body, and they don't even wear condoms or know how to pull out right, okay? Where is in this decision is not what's best for me. I will not tell you what is best for your body. And you say you can't have an abortion after 6 weeks, yet most women may not know that they're even pregnant until the 6 week mark, because if you get pregnant a couple of days after your period, it takes 3-4 weeks to find out that your period's supposed to come back. Okay, 28 days, however that goes. I don't remember no more. Don't care, because mine was never regular, right? So then you have those situations where you're not regular, and you might be a little bit late, or you a week or two late. Guess what? It's 6 weeks, and you decide that you don't want to have this baby. You don't have a choice. Fuck these people. The next story is the Texas Attorney General. They're trying to impeach him for things. Fuck nigga. Okay.
We have more breaking news to bring you tonight. Moments ago, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton saying a vote tomorrow on an impeachment resolution against him is an act of political retribution. Listen to this.
Every politician who supports this deceitful impeachment attempt will inflict lasting damage on the credibility of the Texas House, which I served in.
A committee of state lawmakers voted last night to recommend that the state remove him from office, and tomorrow the state House will vote on the resolution to impeach him. Investigators say Paxton repeatedly broke state law by misusing official information, abusing his official capacity, and retaliating against aides. Priscilla Thompson is joining us now with more on this. Some of the allegations, Priscilla, that Paxton is facing date back years. Walk us through these accusations that are leading to this consideration to remove him.
Yeah, Yasmin, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton has been under investigation for various things since 2015, since his first term in office. But the reason that this is coming up now is because in February, Paxton's office settled a lawsuit alleging wrongful termination for $3.3 million. And he went to the Texas legislature to pay out that settlement. And that is when the Texas legislature said, well, before we use taxpayer dollars to pay this out, we need to investigate what exactly happened. And so that wrongful termination case stems from several high-ranking officials within Paxton's office that went to authorities and said he was abusing his power. They alleged that there was a political donor that he had been helping. This donor was facing investigations and a lawsuit, and Paxton had been using some of his power in the office to try to help this donor. And in exchange, investigators say that donor did renovations on Paxton's home at no charge. And so that is sort of the situation that we're dealing with here. And so for the past several months, the Texas House has been investigating this, and the committee came back yesterday voting unanimously, 3 Republicans and 2 Democrats on that committee, to file these articles of impeachment alleging bribery, alleging that there was in fact retaliation against those whistleblowers when they were fired, and also obstruction of justice. And what we are hearing from AG Paxton today in the wake of all of this, as this prepares to head for a vote tomorrow, is that the facts in this investigation were not true, that he didn't have an opportunity to defend himself, although notably he didn't get into any specifics of what substantive points were not true as it relates to this. And instead, he says that the Texas House is trying to overturn the will of the voters. And that is really going to be his defense here, that all of these allegations happened before he was reelected in November of 2022. And for that reason, he cannot be impeached. But of course, the Texas House is saying they wouldn't be allowed the power to impeach if they weren't able to do so because he had simply been elected. Yasmin?
You mentioned it, so the vote happening tomorrow. What then?
Yeah, so the vote will happen tomorrow. If a majority vote happens in the Texas House, which is expected based on conversations that we've had with folks on the ground here, then it will head to the Senate, and there will be a hearing that will be held in the Senate, during which time Paxton will be removed from office. The Texas governor will appoint a stand-in person, a sort of temporary person, while that impeachment hearing takes place in the Senate, and there will need to be a 2/3 vote in the Senate in order for him to be impeached. There are 31 lawmakers in the Texas Senate. 19 of them are Republicans. So if a little more than a handful of them vote to impeach, and all the Democrats do as well, he could be impeached. But we heard Paxton just a few moments ago saying that he feels confident that even if the Texas House does vote to send this to the Senate, that the Senate will wrap this up quickly, and that he says he'll have an opportunity to defend himself. Yasmin?
Priscilla, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking.
Man, I'm not down in Texas. God bless y'all. Everything is bigger in Texas, and they always tell you don't mess with Texas. I remember being a little girl saying that when I lived down in Texas. But I have a feeling whatever they said, he did that shit. Yeah. So we'll follow that story and see what goes on with that. And we have hit the hour mark with that story. We are more than halfway done with our simulcast here. Those are coming in. Thank you for those that come in late at night to chill with me and to watch me. I am Princess A.V. If you have stumbled upon me in the news feed, okay, you are watching 50/50 News. Okay, we do mostly black stuff, okay, but I do world and national news. It's 100% news, 50%, a twist of ratchet, not even 50%. I give my commentary on the news, and I pick the news stories that I feel, not cruise tell I feel that are pertinent to what's going on this week. I pick them from all over. I first do my local news, that's Chicago metropolitan area news. And then we go all over the world, including entertainment and YouTube. And yes, about that, man, I feel like any friend of Trump needs to be in the dump, okay? So These people, all of them, and DeSantis too. He wants to be your next president, but he don't think that we should have Black history. Us Black folks need to get over that shit and get a life. Yeah, okay. So we'll see how all of this goes down. I did see a story about Mar-a-Lago. Somebody is over there is tricking off on Trump, and they're really interested in getting him on down the road. Do I think they really gonna do something? I don't. Trump is a slithering snake, and he has enough money to slide on through. So we'll see what happens with that. And I like that de-Satan. So I hope that while I'm giving my little spiel in my speech, that you have hit the like button and the likes have been liking. So I thank you very, very much for that and for your support. It's a free way to support the channel. And if you're in the church, just feel free to come on in and join us. Press the subscribe button. And I know some people don't subscribe to channels. I am guilty of that. Sometimes we think like, okay, I'll just come there all the time. But subscriptions matter. It helps us stay in the algorithms. It helps the channels to grow. Okay, so it's every like, even if you dislike me, I'm happy with that too. It helps us out a lot. Okay. Oh, snap. Right before we go to the next one. Oh, thank you so much. We got a good super chat coming in the building. Let's give us a good thank you. New York is in the house. Dead Sky BK. Thank you. We miss you. You know what? Sometimes I be missing y'all too. And I'm working towards getting together so I can just be here a little bit more and with you. And that's I came home. I was tired. I didn't realize how exhausted I was because I had planned on doing this newscast way earlier. But I was like I should be doing my nails like I've been trying to do for the week. I just was tired. And I fell out listening to that Janaea Jackson story, but that's all another thing. And I said, but I'm gonna push myself. It's Friday. Okay, I don't have to get up early in the morning, so I was gonna give y'all something, okay? We don't get this type of news anymore. You know, we have a good night. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Right. So our next section is nothing else but, of course, celebrity news. So this week we have to pay homage to an icon. The death of one of the mothers, none other than Tina Turner, has passed away at 86 years old. I don't have to talk back because I got long stories here, so I'm just going to let it play.
She is considered to be the queen of rock and roll.
Yes, she is. Of course, he's talking about Tina Turner. We learned today that the entertainment icon from Tennessee has passed away.
Yeah, her spiked hair, signature stiletto heels, constant motion on stage helped make her a legend in multiple genres, including R&B. And right now at the Tennessee State Museum, you'll find an outfit superstar wore during a promo shoot for her Foreign Affair album. She handpicked the items selected to go on display there downtown. The jacket and skirt are in a gallery between items from Dolly Parton and Elvis Presley.
So it's really great to be able to feature such a towering artist in rock and roll and R&B as Tina Turner. She was a massively powerful vocalist, and the Ike and Tina Turner Review is really considered to be one of the early rock and roll bands.
Powerful vocalist. That really is.
Yeah.
I mean, that is the bottom line to all of her incredible performing, those vocals, right? The apparel has been part of the museum since 2017. Turner passed away today at the age of 83 after what her publicist described as a, quote, long illness.
Grew up as a child listening to those records. President Joe Biden joined the long list of people to pay their respects to the icon. He released a statement saying that before her stardom, Turner was just a farmer's daughter in Tennessee who sang in the church choir. Biden called Turner a once-in-a-generation talent that changed American music forever.
We are celebrating Tina Turner. She was a force of nature with the power to stir our souls with her music. There will never be another like her, and our Deborah Roberts is here with a look at Tina Turner's extraordinary life. Good morning, Deb.
Good morning, Robin. You're right. She was a force, and a force that we thought would always be with us. This is a loss that has hit hard and deep for so many of us. Tina Turner was a towering legend who not only broke music records and accumulated Grammys and a solid place in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, while also, Robin, as you said, tearing up any stage that she stepped onto. But she was also a potent symbol of strength and survival, a woman who herself said she was all about showing other women how to strive for success on their own terms.
You're simply the best.
Tina Turner's hit anthem may well have summed up her life. The lyrics, a fitting description for a one-of-a-kind superstar whose unmatched stamina, fierce voice, and sex appeal cemented her as a rock and roll legend. Born Anna Mae Bullock in rural Nutbush, Tennessee, Tina, with a new name and hunger for stardom, would become a beacon of resilience during a rocky journey to the top.
Left a good job in the city, working for the man every night and day.
In her form-fitting minis, Tina shimmied to early success in the 60s alongside her then-husband, musician Ike Turner. The duo reaching the international stage by 1966, touring with the Rolling Stones in Europe and America. But offstage, Tina endured an abusive relationship.
My life with Ike was one that a lot of maybe people are familiar with, the husbands that practice brutality.
Why did you stay so long?
I felt responsible. I felt that I couldn't leave because too many things would be destroyed.
She would later find the strength to leave. In 1976, with only 36 cents in her purse, Tina fled her marriage, forging a path on solo album Private Dancer, soaring and reinventing her career. And roll.
You think I don't know the law? Wasn't it me who wrote it?
A bona fide star, Tina set her eyes on the big screen with a celebrated role in the 1985 film Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
You said that making movies is now what you're after. I mean, it's very important to you. Why is that so important to you?
That was in the beginning always the priority. But first of all, there were no black parts for women. I had to actually wait, I think, until it was time that I could get a part. I've been singing all my life. That was no challenge. I mean, in church, and I was a little girl, but acting was something that was new.
Her own life story, What's Love Got to Do With It, filmed in 1993, would earn Angela Bassett an Oscar nomination.
Okay, Angela, get this feeling, get the pulse going with it. You lost on the sand of that judge, yeah.
Tina's artistry influencing a generation to come, from Mary J. Blige to Beyonce, who shared the stage with Turner at the 2008 Grammy Awards. The pop star paying homage to her idol, writing, "My beloved queen, I love you endlessly. I'm so grateful for your inspiration in all the ways you've paved the way." And overnight, dozens of other tributes pouring in. Fellow rock and roll legend Mick Jagger writing, "She helped me so much when I was young, and I will never forget her." Touring well into her 70s, Tina forged a bond with Oprah Winfrey, who wrote this about her friend: "I am a better woman, a better human, because her life touched mine. She was indeed simply the best."
You're simply the best.
She simply was the best. In the end, Tina was a mother and a grandmother. Her family says she'd been coping with a long-term illness. She lived in Switzerland with her husband, Erwin Bach, the man who stole her heart 37 years ago. And I tell you, Robin, I can't stop swaying. When you hear about Tina, what is it about this woman? She grabbed us, didn't she?
I know she said, what's love got to do about it? But I'm so glad she found love later in life. But there was something so incredibly special about her, Deb. And you know, she had that when she first, and you were right about 36 cents that she had, but she was not a success as a solo artist. It took a little time before Private Dancer. But her endurance, Deb.
And she got all this late in life. She matured, she enjoyed it. And Robin, if you ever saw her, as you say, tear up the stage, wipe the floor with us, right?
Yeah, sure did. Thank you, Deb. Thank you so much. But boy, she really does. But you know what? When I heard the news, how do I say this respectfully? She got her flowers when she was here. I didn't feel that I mean, a great loss, don't get me wrong, but there wasn't a sadness that I would normally feel because she lived her life to the fullest.
She was well celebrated.
She was well celebrated, and I'm so happy for her.
She did it her way.
She did it.
There is nobody else that compares to Tina. I'm looking at y'all's stories that y'all are saying, and Ms. Jack, just to say that, you know, your mother got the courage to leave an abusive relationship, you know, that's deep. That's deep. I believe Tina had her legs insured at $1 million each, just her legs. That they were that iconic. I want to joke about that Beyonce stepped on Tina's feet during that performance all of the time. Mad Max, I remember my mom going to the theater with my mom to see it, having no idea what I was watching or what it was. But I know I was a Tina fan as a little kid. I read something earlier about her history. I shared it. I might copy and paste it from Facebook onto the community tab or something like that. That essentially Tina Turner, when she left Nutbush, or she wasn't really in Nutbush, but when she left Tennessee because her grandmother had passed and went to be with her mom, she graduated high school, I believe, in 1958, Sumner High School in Memphis. But in 1957 is when she started working with Ike. And her moniker at the beginning was Little Ann. And it wasn't until about 1959 is when she began, I guess that's when Ike really started courting her and renamed her Tina Turner. And they came out with the song Fool in Love. So her story is really prolific and deep and very inspiring. From what I hear about other research I have done, and I didn't do the extensive story on it, which I may. Y'all let me know if you want to. One, if you want me to do an individual story on Tina. Two, if this is good enough. I want to believe that Tina Turner passed away from kidney failure or something as related to her kidneys. She was donated a kidney, and it was a quote that I read that she said, "I wish that I took better care of my kidneys." And if she knew that she was dying, and that Robin Robbins interview has resurfaced, you can find it on YouTube because I came across it today and I was going to rewatch it. Those are one of those types of things that you kind of know, well, you know, it's nothing else that I can do, that I may be passing. Plus her being 83 years old, the body can only take so much. So I do believe that she knew that she was passing. All of her business was in order. So we also had other conversations of, baby, ain't nobody to pass the torch. The closest thing we got is Fanny, and she's a cross between Tina and Patty. But we don't have any singers, okay? I know I just watched half of Carisha Please with Summer Walker. She is not a singer. They can sing. There are no singers. Okay. She also mentioned cancer. Okay. So I'll do the research so that I can be accurate in what I say. You know, I don't like to talk about things and not be accurate in what I'm saying. What are we saying? Tina did not like that part of the song. Beyonce and Jay-Z talk about eat the cake. Oh, sentiment from Josephine Baker. What? Oh yeah, they moved out of the United States. How about that's what I was saying when I said Fanny. Everybody don't know Fantasia. Fantasia is like if Patti LaBelle and Tina Turner had a baby, and she has birthed the movement of rock soul. And Fanny really can put on a great show. She had liver problems due to high blood pressure. Yeah, she has some things going on. So, you're telling the truth. She definitely said that. Yeah. So, our next story is another singer, a national, international treasure. Celine Dion is canceling her world tour. So let's go over to, I think, GMA and see what they have to say about that.
Music superstar Celine Dion canceled all of her concerts for the next 11 months as she continues treatment for a rare neurological disorder. The 55-year-old singer says she's trying to build back her strength as she struggles with what's called stiff person syndrome. Dion says it's causing painful muscle spasms that affect her ability to walk and even sing.
I'm sorry, I done went into the next story. You know, Celine Dion sick. Like, look, now even the white people was gonna break down because that Titanic song drove me crazy. Okay, that wasn't my best singing, but you know, Celine Dion. I think she's even accepted in the Black community. So I hope that she heals from what's going on with her. Like I said, these singers, this is the last generation of singers. The only one you have is like that's mainstream, and she's not mainstream enough, is Fantasia, homegirl Jennifer Hudson, Beyonce. You know, I love Beyonce. Beyonce can sing, but I don't. She's an entertainer. And she's been blessed to meet and been in the room with all of these icons. But I would never compare a Beyonce to a Whitney. No. Whitney can stand flat-footed and sing. You're saying Celine has aphasia? That means she won't be able to talk. You said never, ever. I love me some Beyonce, but there are just some things, you know, I watch. I wish they would bring back the shows like Got to Be Real or whatever. The Whitneys, the Patties, the Tinas, the Shakas. It's just, it's not here. I don't know if we'll ever have it again. They're out there in the universe. But will they allow them to come mainstream? I don't know. For you to do content on music, really? I might have a. I can't talk about it because I also have to make a decision. Yeah, if it happens, y'all will know soon enough. Music is like looming over my head. I'll just say that. They don't make them like that no more. So, our next story, another singer / actress this weekend tonight is the debut of The Little Mermaid. Go support.
It is about two young people that are absolutely carving out the life that they want, not the life that they've been given.
I think he feels quite hidden and enclosed behind the four walls of the castle. That was all stuff that Ariel feels as well. So it was really nice for them to connect on that, and I think it enriched their relationship as a result.
When I first started, I didn't know that Scuttle was gonna have a song, and knowing that like Lynn wrote it, it's one of the newer numbers. It was really, really fun to perform, and this guy's obviously incredible at all that music stuff, you know? Yeah.
Every song went through changes. I will deliberately make changes, you know, often to keep it fresh for the listener. That's important.
I think there are going to be mixed, you know, reactions to everything.
I love the way I look.
Yeah.
I love the way everyone looks in this.
I will say my goal the entire time was to not let the technical end of this lead it. You want to really be invested in the people, in the story, in the emotion, in the feeling, in the joy, in the humor of the characters. And that was my mantra the whole time.
We wanted to make him a three-dimensional character. We wanted to make sure we really understood who he was and what he wanted in life, and understand the man that Ariel was falling in love with.
Rob worked very hard on putting more heart into that story than in the original. So I think this side of the story is going to be very reliable for many, many fathers out there.
Look, and because it's a parent company of Disney, I'd be trying to stay away from ABC. It's only certain companies that I kind of play the news from because they give me issues. But ABC is pretty good. ABC and CBS and Fox are pretty good. Why the prince ain't brown? Well, they weren't going to make it all black. You know what they're doing now is making mixed and diverse. Okay, just like what they did with Cinderella. Cinderella was black, but the prince was Asian, and the mama was black, and the daddy was white. Made no sense whatsoever, but it's about inclusion these days so that everybody is represented in full number. But I'm, you know, baby, look how these white folks that acted about Ariel being black. Now you gonna have both of them being black, baby. They would have shut the world down. Okay. I'm excited to see it, and possibly take some young girls to see it. I know they're having a big showing in the morning. I just wasn't finna get up in the morning to do that, and then I don't want to enjoy it with just a fresh morning full of eager little girls. You know, I'll be with kids all week. Some days I just want to kind of, but I'm going to dress up, put my red wig on, okay, and be like Ariel. We're just going to have a good time. So please support the movie. And I just wanted to say also, if you're watching this on a replay and perchance that Tina Turner segment gets muted, it will only be because if they give me a whole bunch of copyright strikes, or if I cut it out immediately. Well, they'll give strikes, they give flags. Okay, if it's too many and I can't dispute them all, I'm just gonna mute it and save myself some time. But that's just a FYI if you're watching us on a replay. But it just depends on what they do. You know, they only play so many seconds of each song. So next, we have a double story in one. The Brady Bunch house is for sale, and they are making a new Barbie movie. And guess what? The news comes all the way from Hawaii for a change.
7:18, and what's trending?
You can now own an iconic piece of television history if you got a few $1 million lying.
Shekels. Let me know.
Like people tend to do. Anyway, the Brady Bunch house is now on the market. It comes after some major renovations by HGTV. Wow. The network bought the LA home back in 2018 for a measly $3.5 million. The channel now looking to flip it for $5.5 million. Among the renovations include a floating staircase leading to a new second story. HGTV says a portion of the sales proceeds will go towards a nonprofit fighting childhood hunger.
Okay,
Crazy.
that's
Look at
pretty
it.
cool.
I mean, I'm sure it's a nice house, but you'd have to be like really obsessed, right?
Yeah.
To live there.
And rich.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I didn't even watch it, so.
Really?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers just released the first full trailer for the upcoming movie Barbie. It gives us better insight into the film's plot.
This is the best day ever. It is the best day ever. So is yesterday, and so is tomorrow, and every day from now until forever. Do you guys ever think about dying?
Wow.
When my heart breaks. Some things have been happening that might be related. When my world shakes. Cold shower, falling off my roof, and my heels are on the ground.
Margot Robbie, who plays Barbie, sets out on a journey of self-discovery, and Ryan Gosling, who plays Ken, tagged along with her to the real world to find answers. Barbie the movie set to be in theaters July 21st.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I think she becomes human, right?
She goes into the real world,
Yeah.
so she finds out that she's not really the same like popular Barbie that she always was. She's just kind of self-discovering who she really is. And
Does she
owning
meet
who
the
she is.
Brady Bunch?
Maybe she buys a house.
Looked like it was going to take a dark turn.
Yeah, I know. When I was watching it too, it's like, oh. But a lot of the comments are positive.
Yeah. Oh, okay, good,
I
yeah.
want to watch it.
Okay, good. All right, looks like Barbie had some great weather, though. You saw that?
Yeah.
Not as good as ours.
Not as good as
ours is real.
Yeah.
Well,
I call myself positive. Anywho, Barbie was my favorite doll. Barbie pissed me off yelling about flat feet again. Well, you know, their feet are like automatically like that in the original Barbies. So, you know, to sit in that. So I guess I assumed that was a play on that. I look at that lady. I've never seen the Hawaii newscast. That lady sitting there with the thick legs right there at the end. And I didn't even notice the first time I saw it that there was a dog sitting on the couch with them, just as quiet and as cute. So, y'all let me know, you know, you're going to watch the Barbie movie. I need to see more about it, you know, but it seems like from that preview is pretty good. And our last story here on Entertainment News is about some Black folks movies again. Everybody is all the rage on Christmas Day. The Color Purple, the musical adaptation to the Broadway play, is coming out. Everybody said, no, ma'am, no for Barbie. Barbie, that's a no for me. Okay.
Up The Color Purple. The first trailer is out for an upcoming big screen remake starring Fantasia Barrino in the lead as Celie, reprising her Broadway role. And she'll be joined by a star-studded cast, including Halle Bailey, Taraji P. Henson, and John Fitzgerald. Wow. Take a look.
Oh, Miss Celie. You must ain't got no kinfolk around these parts.
All I had was my sister. She was the only one ever loved me.
It's time for you to see the world. There's gonna be some changes made.
Put it on. This ain't me. Hush. We need to look like we belong. Let's see the smiling color.
Sweet and loving God. You see the cast and the behind the scenes, Quincy Jones. I mean, listen.
That's unbelievable.
I know. Steven Spielberg, The Color Purple hits theaters on Christmas Day.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m.
Skinny Al, just like Skinny Luther. Speaking of Fantasia, this is her, movie debut. So I'm happy for Fantasia. And I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the girl who's playing her name, and I've seen her in person. The girl who's playing Sophia. Now, she is Mahalia Jackson and reincarnate, and she can sing the house down. One thing I will say, well, Oprah's endorsed it, and Quincy Jones, musical genius, has had a hand in this. I will say, even though I'm sad-eyed it being a musical, they got people who can sing the house down. Fantasia, Hallie, the other girl. I know I look at her, as soon as I see her name, I know it. But all of these girls can really, really sing, okay? And the other parts of the cast, some other cast members I saw, they can sing. So I am excited for that. What is the difference between this one and the original? This is a musical adaptation of the Broadway play, The Colorful Purple. It's like a mix, okay? What they're saying is that this is another view, whereas we will still have the original Color Purple that we remember in our minds. There is, the book. If you read the Color Purple book, which is something I might consider doing on members only. Danielle, yes, Danielle is her name. Danielle Brooks. Thank y'all. There was so much of the book that was not put into the movie. But again, this movie was made in 85 and they couldn't hit all those cutting edge situations. Like when I went back over it more, I didn't read the whole book again, but as an adult, Suge and Celie was freaky. And that was unheard of back then. So I wonder is Taraji and Fanny getting freaky in this new adaptation? But also they said they go deeper into the relationship of Celie and her sister as well. So there's so many dynamics that are, tapped into in different sides that we didn't get a chance to see in 85 that we'll see in 2023. Yeah, they can go deep into it, so, and they definitely do. And I've heard there even a different side of Sophia that we get to see, Mr. There is a longer trailer out, and you can find that on YouTube, so it's really, really deep. So with that being said, again, we are done with entertainment news. Thank y'all for coming. Thank you for y'all for who has been in here for the longest. The likes are liking. I appreciate y'all. Please tell people to come and watch me. I've been looking at my algorithms and my numbers have not been what they used to be, but I think it's for multiple reasons. One, I haven't been live like that. Two, the content has changed. But you're getting the same old person. Sometimes we just need to grow, okay? I'm not with the mess, but we're going to address this on the next segment of this news. So again, if you have not liked the channel, please like this stream and also subscribe to the channel. Feel free to join membership. Also, please give to the channel. Lack of views, if I don't have 1,000 views, I don't really start making money. So when you give contributions to the channel, trust me, it means a lot, because in order to stream, it costs me money to entertain you. That includes not only time for production value, but the light bill, the internet bill, okay? The StreamYard bill for members, the Zoom bill, all of that costs. So everything that you give me, trust and believe, it is very much appreciated. I'm glad to be back. Thank you so much. Fantasia Color Purple open tonight. She sang that song, Not a Dry Now. Okay, Black Diamond, you giving me something to look forward to. I've already gotten the call. Oh, that was Roxy. So we need to go to the Color Purple. And people, Oprah is calling out for ladies to come to the movie theater wearing purple. So this is a year. Look at all of these Black artists Look at all this Black art. And we are coming out and we are making moves. We need to support our Black artists, okay? In any way, shape, and form and fashion. I'm here for it. I'm excited for it, okay? So we are foraying into our last segment of the show, and that is YouTube news. Okay. So this segment of the news is things that happen in or around YouTube, the YouTubes, okay? So I have a couple of stories. I don't always talk about stuff on YouTube, but I'm going to talk about it tonight before we go. First, I'm going to make this quick, and I know folks might hit the bat signal on this. This is about House of the Princess, and the Wiley Show. There was a troll that inboxed me about the Wiley Show, and that person said that he was speaking about me, and in turn sent me some paperwork about the Wiley Show, and that I should retort concerning his personal business. I am not going to fully address this because I feel like the YouTube streets are dry and people are looking for content in beef. Now, before I said anything, I did approach the Wiley Show. I told him that I did not have a beef with him. I'm over the all about the tea stuff. I basically want to be left alone. I've said this over and over again. I want to be left alone. And I explained to him what happened, but he failed to mention that he really did mention me in a show. So I found out from third party because I have not gone to try to find the evidence. I'm going to make that clear. But what was told to me is that he mentioned me in the mix of other content creators, such as ATLian, Naughty Lux, and apparently a few other content creators whom none of them I have any type of conversation with. I don't even watch them. And I have nothing against them. Like I used to watch ATLian. I just don't. She doesn't come up in my algorithm often. But I for damn sure do not correspond with them about him. You have not heard me talk about Wiley since 2020 or 2021, since the dissolution, which in a few days will be 2 whole years since the dissolution of the All About the Tea panel. So by July, he meant nothing to me. Oh no, I want to say August. It's about when the feud happened, and I will address that. I do not talk about Wiley. I do not talk about him in anybody's chats. For anybody who knows, I've barely been on YouTube like that. So how the fuck does my name get in anybody else's shit for content and views? Leave me out of y'all's shit. It's not even necessary to send it to me. That is beneath me. I have nothing to do with anybody other than what's going on here at the House of the Princess. When I say something, trust and believe I said what I said. And I have not said anything about these people or nor him. So we're going to keep it at that. Let's keep it cute. And I'm going to stay over here minding my motherfucking business as I usually do, and dealing with my life situation and the things going on in my life and in my home. And it has nothing to do with any YouTube content creators. So let me just put that out in the air and make it clear. The Wiley Show, I don't think about you. I do not watch you. I have nothing to say about you, and I have no beef with you. So let's just leave it like that. Okay. Next It is breaking news that Tasha K is filing for bankruptcy. I have nothing much to say about that. Of course, the story needs to be investigated. If you follow my Mimsy, it makes sense. He did a video. It's only 11 minutes long. This morning about Tasha K's bankruptcy. She's doing her best not to pay Cardi B her money. She might get a break with this one. Not a full one. I don't think they're going to let her slide through the cracks of not paying this woman $4 million, but it might give her some type of debt relief. That story has yet to be investigated and to be fully brought out, but we're just putting that on the floor. Tasha K stays in the news. She's not stopping her content creation. She's going to continue to do what she got to do to make her money. So more power to you, girl. And with that being said, let's pause because we have a super chat from my friend, the Red Label. As I said, I knew somebody would send the bat signals out. Thank you, Red Label, for the super chat. And let me put a star on it. A star on it. Is it in there? Oh, there it is. Okay. We knew she was going to try, but she's definitely not going to get with. Yeah, $4 million is a lot. It's a lot. Do I think she need $4 million is a lot. Didn't she need to learn a lesson? Yeah, but $4 million, she ain't got it like that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, that's between her and Cardi. The next story. Y'all know I don't care for this lady, but I'm gonna mention it. The other day, I got a call while I was going to sleep to see this showdown, which the show was about to be hypocrisy. As we know, Sean Davy Wade is at odds with Denat, is at odds with Sweet Pea. I'm not sure what's really going on with him and King Pay. It's Denat versus everybody. AT2 now this week, after they had a beautiful interview on Sunday, then he cussed out Yvette after the live about AT2. The show was a shit show. I'm praying that Amina and Goody do the short version of this because I didn't see it all. It was long. It's ridiculous. And give their commentary on the shit show of a show that it was. Somewhere up out the woodwork, Marcella, see, I came on the good part. Marcella got to cussing out Val. Queen Tulsa was supposed to be trying to cuss out Val and did not. And Sparkle was cussing out folks, and Sweet Pea was cussing out Sean Davy Wade. And I'm trying to think of all those people who popped in and out of that live. It was a lot. So if you want to see that foolishness, it was up there. I've seen her fragility there most definitely. Yes, it was a mess. Did I laugh? I haven't watched the mess in a very, very long time. That cussing match between Val and Marcella and Val and Tulsa, I did get my little I did get my little kiki on, and I was happy to be sitting back, gossiping, doing my work. as I watch these people put on a minstrel show down to the YouTube. I feel that that was the spark of people just want negative content on YouTube. Case in point, this show should have way more people in it if you want positivity, but it's not really what you want. But me building this show out is to go to the crowd of the Young Turks, to have people come over here and watch this that want to edify themselves with something. I don't want to sit and just have mess over here. That's not what I want. I want to edify. Do we have a kiki sometime? Yeah. But mess like that, nah. Rooster roo. Yeah, y'all stop. And I can't keep up. I stopped. And you know what? I'm a lot happier in my life since I stopped. Okay. Our last story in our YouTube news is this week. Danae Jackson broke her silence on the My Future Wifey podcast. Those who don't know who Danae Jackson is, she is the current wife. Red Label put it in the chat because you know I don't like that heifer. All she want me to do is say her name on this damn channel. You know I don't give a fuck about her. Although anybody who watched it put it in the chat. Nicholas, oh my God, that was just terrible. Danae Jackson is the current wife of relationship guru, and I do use that term loosely, Mr. Derek Jackson. Sure, we could. I was in there drinking some Taylor Port. I can't even get this out because of the comments. I have my TV on in the backyard eating popcorn and drinking Taylor Port, watching that net. Look, Best IBK, this is like a 3-4 hour long live. Just fast forward to like the first 45 minutes and when it started getting good, because that was foolishness. Okay, so Danae Jackson is the current wife of relationship whore Derek Jackson. They are in divorce court allegedly, and it is a 2-part, 3-hour and something long interview that My Future Wifey gave her. Will I be doing content on Yes You for damn sure? Yes. I thought about doing that instead of this newscast, but I decided I really want to watch this twice and not just jump on it and make me some notes and see if I can use some clips from this show. Protein Team, that's what I'm going to say, Protein Team. She out here talking about she got a healing camp for the women, for the girls, and the ministry. The spoiler alerts on that is this: Derek Jackson is a skeezer, okay? And I don't even call men that. It's just a whore. He told her he cheated on her with at least 100 women. And you ain't strapped up every time. Now I wonder if she was holding it. She might have gave her a STI, STD, like something. But he's a dog. The way he do. Ooh, baby, you gonna get that karma back. Ooh. Excuse me. Yes, we're gonna go into all of this. I'm not watching you fuck no other woman. I'm not trying to emulate, and that's why I got to do a separate video. You trying to emulate the way another woman has sex with him. You think he didn't know that? That he didn't notice the difference? Because every woman has their own stroke. Just like every man has their own stroke, baby. I know my man's stroke. I know when he coming in, when he going. Yeah, if he wasn't on this earth, it would be okay. I wouldn't, she would get away with it. But she tried to take her own life, and that's a sad thing. I think that, baby, he did her a number. But she has some other traumas going on. So if you would like to watch it before I get my commentary of the podcast, is Dear Future Wifey podcast, or just look up Danae Jackson. And it's the way. Look up Danae Jackson or Derek Jackson's wife, whatever. He is out with his next piece. And he out with his next piece. Okay, we've seen pictures. He ain't waste no time. But he was cheating anyway. Okay. She was already, yeah. Yeah, she goes into all of that. All of that. All of that. She's been dating him since she was 19, dated him for 9 years. She is now 33 in divorce court with 3 of his children. He's a scumbag. But I do wish her well. But do I think she's well enough to be out here teaching other women in the capacity that she is? Hell no. Hell no. Sit your ass down. Because Rome wasn't built in a day. You're not going to tell me that you took 15 years of trauma and abuse from this man, plus all your childhood traumas. You got it together in a year. You got your deliverance in a year and a half. No, go to hell. No, we just saw you having a breakdown on the internet. And in this video, she says it's not a breakdown. And she legitimizes weaponizing the word. But like I said, that's, baby, I'm gonna give y'all my commentary. She got 15 therapists, damn it, according to this interview. But and we found out some different sides of her. She is a little bit more messy than what we thought. That she was all downtrodden. She was downtrodden, but she wasn't downtrodden. She pulled the melody. Yeah, I knew you was cheating, but don't you embarrass me out in public, okay? So that's where this was. Yeah, I think she definitely needs to heal. So go watch the interview and then look out. Hopefully I'll be able to do it this weekend. The commentary on the video. If not, it'll be back out in the beginning of the month. So also, anybody who's a member, we have a Discord. I have a regular Discord, but I've never used it. I'm new to Discord. But those who said they wanted to lose weight and go on the weight loss journey with us, it is in the Discord. I have the Discord. It's House of the Princess. I will repost the link, but it shouldn't be that far down because I don't post a lot. But it is in the community tab under the members. Join the Discord. Join the specific tab that says weight loss goals. I have posted stuff. We're putting stuff up. This is my second serving. I didn't tell nobody I took my second. This is my second serving this week of the cleanse. That is the final sip of that. So yeah, we're going to get these bodies right. Okay. Actually, I didn't watch the first season of Young, Rich, and Famous. African. Not that I didn't want to watch it. It just, slipped my mind. So I may find time to watch that too. I got to finish watching Power. Miss Jack of Trades, look in the community tab. It is the Discord. We are sharing our weight loss goals. We're going to start the workout plan this week. It's cleansing time. Let's start the cleanse. I'm going to share on another cleanse I was talking about on California Cuties Live with the cucumbers and the ginger and the pineapple that I found. So maybe tomorrow, if I find a little bit of time, I'm going to go to the store and pick it up and see about drinking it. I want to freeze it or something. Make a little bit for the week and then just drink it. It says drink it 2 times a day. I'm serious about this. Queen Charlotte, no, I have not watched it. See all this stuff. I'll be so busy. I haven't watched Bridgerton. Again, that's not nothing that I just wouldn't watch. I just haven't. I haven't utilized my Netflix membership. I haven't caught up on Love is Blind #3. There's a movie out, Chevalier, I would like to watch as well. 1001, I just found out it's on Peacock. Baby, I get home. This is why you ain't getting no content. I be so tired. And then I'm still trying to get, if you could see the studio, even though I cleaned it, I still have to put more stuff in it. It's a mess. It is a mess around me, and I'm still trying to get stuff put up, unpacked, stuff fixed so that I can put stuff up. So that has also taken a lot of my time. Just trying to put in a couple of hours of work every day to build out and fix the studio, fix the house. And I'm coming along, but it's just taking a long time. Like I'm sitting right here by my feet. I'm looking at boxes that I never mailed out. This is why we ain't had no other we haven't had no more competitions and stuff because I don't want to be like, I'm gonna give you something I still ain't gave nobody this. And so now I got the printer plugged up and I'm working. And that's another live I'm going to go into a whole bunch of stuff. Why I've been so trifling with stuff. It's not intentional. It's just a hell of a lot going on. But I'm happy. Again, I want to thank Black Diamond because the news, we have a news desk. This is the desk all the way to over here where my big printer is, which I need some ink for. I need to go buy this expensive ass black ink for the printer. So I'm building out. I'm doing new things. Right in front of me when I want to be able to turn the camera. So when we have Craft and Kick It, which I've really been waiting to do that, I can just turn the camera around and be right there at the Craft and Kick It table. So I'm building out the studio. I'm doing a lot. And when I get done with all this, you're going to get content on the DIY channel because I'm going to fix the kitchen and update the kitchen. So I got the stuff ready to go, but I just have to get certain things in order before I do that. What brand of printer? This one is an Epson. So I have more than one. Epson Workforce 7820. Are your lights working? Oh, on the desk. I haven't tried. I lost a battery to the remote or either it didn't have a battery in it. And I was going to take the battery out of the other remote that is just the same and try to see if it works. But I'm sorry. I've really been my mind all over the place. So I hadn't worried about the lights because, I said I'd get back to it. But I will check tomorrow and make sure they work. I'm sure they work. They're plugged in. It's just that I can't turn them on without the remote. Or there's something here. I'm going to see if this works. They say there's an app for that to turn on the lights and try it. So I might do that. Try it that way, regardless of the remote. So, yeah, I might try that tonight. Or either take the battery out of the other thing and make sure it works. Yes, that was very nice. I've been needing a desk, but I have to have the right place to have the desk. And I'm putting all your stuff. Look, I'm trying to build out. All of you contribute to my desk. Okay, this is Lauren. My mic is there that the people over here and on Facebook brought me when I first got here. Val bought me this. I got to put stuff in. And that's the actual remote This is a remote to the lights, but it's just no battery in there. What else? I don't know. Stuff over here. It's stuff everywhere. The people brought me the green screen when I first started YouTube before I met a lot of y'all. So this is a labor of love. I appreciate all of you and what you do for me and contribute. Like I said, it takes a village to raise me, and it has. It really has. So I thank y'all so much. I look forward to upgrading. I will be putting out a list of things that I need, or I don't want to do a GoFundMe, just a list of things that I need donations towards. I want to pay up StreamYard for a year, pay up Zoom for a year, pay up Epidemic Sound for a year. But I might cancel Epidemic Sound only because I've been paying for Adobe, and now I found out that they got music too. So I might, depend, I'm going to check and see some more things that Adobe got. If Adobe got it going on, I ain't paying for Epidemic Sound right now because I have Adobe. So I just found that out, and I love that aspect. Then it makes it worth the money. So those things. And then later on, I want to upgrade. I'm going to have to upgrade hardware, desktop computer, and a roadcaster. Those are on my list of long-term things that I want after the channel is doing what it needs to do. And then in a year or two, we'll be on top Chicago level. We'll be 4K, okay? Yeah, the remote that you... I tried, and it didn't. It didn't. I thought it might have would, but it didn't. I'm going to double check again. I'm going to put the battery in it. So, aside from that, I think that's everything. Definitely on Sunday, we'll be back with Ladies Love Huntsville with California Cutie and Nola Reeds. I'm not sure who's hosting this week. I think it's Cutie is hosting, and then it will be here on my channel. I doubt if I go live tomorrow, but I might. You never know. Just depends on how things go, how I feel. Besides that, yes, I'm going to get all of that. Yes, I'm claiming it. So I got a birthday coming up. So June is going down. And those of you in the Chicagoland area, let me know. I will have something out in public. A lot of people don't usually come see me. So, but I will leave it open for y'all to come play video games with me on my birthday. And I'll definitely be having a live for my birthday to kick it with y'all. So I thank y'all so much for watching. Again, this may be your first time coming, or you just stumbled upon the broadcast. This has been Crab Island. Oh, snap. Get us some crab, okay? My name is Princess A.V. What do I own for? I don't know. I don't know about Love and Marriage Detroit. But I'm thinking about it. I'm kind of Young Rich. I'm gonna tonight. Yeah, let me stay up and watch a little bit since I had a nap, or figure out something to do till I fall asleep. I gotta finish Power. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do Force. Okay, I was supposed to do it last year, so I'm going to recap Force from before, and I'll do Force in September when it comes out. So yes, you'll get that Chicago Pie from Force. I'm gonna probably, that's what I might do tomorrow, is record Bill Collective. So I'll give you Bill Collective. That was one of the first shows I did, and I didn't do it last season, but I will do it this weekend. Wedding nights, you know, that's for us members, and that's a Zoom. That's just sitting down. But I didn't forget, but now that I got the desk and stuff and I can work, it makes it easier to do that. So let me get a little bit more situated in the house, and so that I can settle down, and you will get your wedding night. Y'all will get the wedding night. That'll be for members. And, you know, because she's still working on her wedding, so I want to reach out to her and see what's going on with that. Okay, fine. I hope that you've come in and that you have pressed the like button. I thank all of y'all for y'all support and y'all love that you've given to me. Subscribing to the channel. It's a free way to support the channel So is liking. It's not going to cost you anything but a moment of your time. Please tell someone else about my broadcast. If you already think you're a member, I've had some memberships going down, or subscriptions go down rather. Make sure that you're still subscribed and the YouTube hasn't cycled you out during my downtime. So I thank y'all for tuning in, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook. I love all of y'all. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Nobody's ever told you that they love you today. I do go out and walk your children out in nature tomorrow. It is a holiday weekend. Go enjoy your families or your friends or your dog or whatever it is. Enjoy yourself and love on yourself. Without further ado, I thank y'all for watching. You are here in the newsroom down at the House of the Princess. It is time for me to turn out the lights. Have a great day.